Yes, they're real. Every soul in this blade. Take care. The moment for my vengeance is not yet nigh. Why do they challenge me? It never ends well for them. Now it may perform its function again. purify the souls of their filth. The moment for my vengeance is not yet nigh.
The shadow will shortly begin to spread.
Lovely, as if freshly hammered and wrought. Die, filth.
The shadow thickens.
Lovely, as if freshly hammered and wrought. Now it may perform its function again. Now, lovely weapon, instead of rust, you shall bathe in blood. My blade is ready to unsheath. Yet. Take care. I shall purify the souls of their filth. Purify the souls of their filth. Why do they challenge me? It never ends well for them. Now it may perform its function again. The moment for my vengeance is not yet nigh. Where is the filth who thought they could kill me? I owe them a visit. vengeance is not yet mine.
轻易挑战神王！
My blade is ready to.
我的第一回环，
You may have my power, whatever that is worth.
Naraka. Naraka. Nih. Gua bisa Naraka dulu. Ya aku udah main 2 ronde. Udah main 2 ronde. Kapan ya? Tang gua lu belum mau bayar atau gimana? Gua mau balik aja lagi. Itu tanggal berapa? Apa? Begitu kerja lu makan tidur. Cari yang depo ya gitu lah marketing.
We will rid the world of this.
瀚海阑干百丈，
Apa? Ini legal.
谁不想欢笑？
You may have my power, whatever that is worth.
Aku dapat UV lah. UV. Itu dapat kan kantor kami setiap 3 bulan bisa pulang Indo kalau udah dana ini. Ya udah pulang.
Ada di sana masih cari orang.
Ya begitu.
Saya bubar.
Apa bubar? Siapa yang bilang bubar? Hah? Orang-orang itu siapa dulu?
You may
Coba aja masuk dulu. Ya kan udah lulus interview, ya coba aja. Kalau nggak cocok,
let us bring darkness to our enemy.
cuma dia nggak ada pay-free itu, enak di sana aja. Iya, bedanya ya. Kalau PT-PT biasa yang kita tahu rata-rata tahu. Masalahnya kita kerja belum tentu cocok, nggak cocok. Kita coba dulu. Kapan mulai masuk ini? Jam 4 sore sampai jam 1. Iya, dia nggak ada. Apa namanya? Ken? Namanya Felix.
We are
Felix masih utang aku 2.000. Dia utang aku 2.000. Enggak. Aku bercanda aja. Kemarin dia panggil ceweknya malah aku culik.
Masalah tadi gimana ya? Kayak paksa ceweknya gitu atau apa pegang-pegangnya parah gitu kan?
Ceweknya nggak suka.
Bedain ya. Ya alasannya gitu. Masa kalian pergi kan? Itu jam berapa? Jam berapa ya?
yes, they're real. Every soul. We will rid the world
Enggak,
of
di
this.
sana sepi juga malah menurut aku. Aku kemarin ada ke sana, yang samping dia aja kan. Masa ya? Dia cheaper menurut aku, malah aku nggak suka musik di sana. Masih lebih bagus metal musik. Sepi meh. Ya bukan. Mana awal-awal kan sepi, makin pagi makin rame bodoh. Dia jam 2-an baru mulai rame. Sama aja. Rame, cu. Bukan tengah malam, rame di pagi. Iya.
Anjir, mereka minum tiga botol ini sih, anjir. Terus satu orang 4.500.
Murah lah, 4.500 cuy.
Itu kan masih belum panggil cewek ya? Dia mau panggil cewek udah tahu.
Ya siapa suruh lu mau panggil cewek?
Kalau kau minum itu kau jangan panggil ya. Enak anjir.
Itu kemarin aku utang lu berapa?
Oh iya, ya. Aku udah kan Budi utang kau kan. Jadi udah harus potong di situ.
1.600.
Berapa? Udah 1.200. 1.300.
Oh ya udah potong dari sana, suruh Budi bayar ke aku lagi berapa? Budi bayar ke aku. Kemarin dia kapan out apa?
Kau kapan kau lagi?
Aku hari ini off, gak ada lagi sampai tanggal 1. Aku gak ada lagi sampai tanggal 1 aku. Tanggal 1 aku QV balik Indo.
Let us bring darkness to our enemies.
Naraka, the loyal drunk.
You may have my power.
Iya, aku libur.
Whatever
Aku
that
lupa
is
lu
worth.
bacet Budi. Kira dia masih kerja. Matilah jadi anak baru 7 hari senang-senang. Jadi anak kuliah. Apa namanya Ken ya? Suruh dia menikmati jadi anak baru 7 hari belajar jadi anak kuliah. Dia ada training 7 hari di awal gitu. Jadi kayak anak kuliah itu. Nah setelah 7 hari baru mulai. Ya pastilah nggak mungkin nggak ditunggu. Nah, dan untuk benefitnya sih ya sekarang gaji ya gede lah ya, tetap daripada tempat lain lebih gede. Terus dia nggak ada payful ya. Dan ya cari-cari orang aja. Nanti kamu di sana kamu tahu lah. Males aku. Ya pasti ada target lah, nggak ada target gitu. Dia kesempatan 3 bulan. Jadi kalau bulan pertama lu nggak capai target SP1, bulan kedua lu nggak capai SP2, bulan ketiga lu capai, ya udah SP1 mu dihilangkan. Kayak gitu.
Material riches. How
Sebenarnya
fortunate.
mudah aja lah capai target itu. Ya makanya aku bilang sama lu, tahu Handy kan? Handy Yacel.
Material
Kayaknya
riches.
dia ngomongin ini
How
deh kemarin.
fortunate.
Dia tanya ke aku, katanya ada temen aku yang lulus interview, katanya nggak ada target. Aku nggak tahu dia ngomongin lu atau bukan. Dia ngomong ke aku, katanya dia lulus interview tapi nggak ada target katanya. Aku bilang kau mikirlah secara ngotak, aku bilang PT yang kasih gaji segitu nggak kasih lu target, masuk akal nggak?
Material riches. How
Kerja
fortunate.
di sini 9 jam. Dan dikasih target libur dapat 5 hari.
Sterling equipment devoid of curses or demons. A pleasant fluke.
Makanya dia tanya aku kemarin, aku jelasin lah, aku bilang masuk akal nggak kalau mereka nggak minta target gitu. Buat itu ambil aja bu, aku nggak mainin. Ya paling cari depo aja. Kan semuanya
I would do for a
disediakan.
spool.
Lu tinggal jalanin aja. Depo.
There is danger nearby.
Ayah tuh tak ada itu.
Do not let them get away. And you thought I was dangerous before!
What the fuck, udah ada ulti aja dia.
Lovely. As if freshly hammered and wrought.
Kali mereka ada ulti. Ajar lagi atau gimana? Atau kabur aja?
Ugh. I begin to grow vexed.
Berarti dulu di PT
I
Budi
can feel the call of the sky.
tapi bisa lulus, kenapa Budi nggak lulus?
The shadows quickly begin to spread.
The moment for my vengeance is not yet known.
Tinggal dua.
The shadow thickens.
And you thought I was dangerous before!
Now it may perform its function again.
Lu nggak mau kabur, guys? Aku nggak ada ulti apa-apa lah. Mana sih lu? Bangkitnya sendiri bisa kabur.
Now it may perform its function again.
Sabar. Ini dia habis nih. Ya, mati ya.
Awakening!
They challenge me. Never ends well. Lovely. As if freshly hammered and wrought.
Datang nih. Rame.
Now it may perform its function again. Now, lovely weapon, instead of rust, you shall bathe in blood.
Tunggu lah, lagi war mereka. Biarin aja.
Not yet. My blade is ready. I shall purify the souls of their filth.
Bunuh dong.
Why do they challenge me? It never ends well for them.
Mencak long sword. Datang dia.
Behold my might and fall!
Udah labut, kabur labut. Saya menyarankan Anda untuk kabur. Sini aja.
Here, take this.
Converge on my marker at once.
Lu mau skill ini nggak? Gue kasih lu skill ini loh. Aku nggak guna ini. Aku nggak guna itu. Soalnya punya aku kalau bunuh musuh udah reset juga.
Ready to fly again.
Interview siapa? Si Ken ini. Cowok.
My blade is ready to unsheath.
Budi kemarin katanya yang interview ada cek cantik. Jadi nggak fokus dia. Apa ini? Titan F Melee Damage Reduction.
This should
Bagus sih.
prove useful.
Cepat-cepat dia dapat tuh.
The shadow will shortly begin to spread.
There is danger nearby. Could you help?
Not yet. Take care.
The shadow
Coordinates.
Ulti gua ke cancel. Babi.
Aku tarik pribadi.
Ya udah. Rame.
I'm calling for backup.
Gua mati aja udah. Rame cok. Bisa nih?
Bisa aja kok nggak tahu ya.
Gak tahu. Caranya?
Mau tahu.
Ya aku nggak pernah main sama orang, aku kan main solo terus. Bisa dibikin. Tapi harus pakai uang dulu ya.
Could you help?
Anjir.
Aduh mati. Rame lagi ya.
Take care.
Gak bisa aku. Kontrol.
A moment for my vengeance is not yet nigh. So
Mati deh. Wah. Kok nggak bisa kabur ya? Iya, gue nggak ada breaking juga. Ayo bet, ayo. Mau beli apa buat bagusnya ini ya? Ini udah punya 60 koin. Yang solo and sacrifice ini bagus nih. Iya, bagus. Ini senjatanya 300 ya. yang ngomongin lobet sampai kayak gitu. Iya, di PS ternyata gamenya gratis udah Naraka ya bang. Dulu aku beli. Iya, sekarang gratis. Pakai Discord aja lu. Gua pengen coba menu, mau lihat jelas atau enggak. Coba pakai Discord. Mau start dulu atau Discord dulu? Coba Discord. Baru beli di headset. Kalian coba. Udah login lo. Discord udah login. Cara kita cancel skill tuh gimana, Bu? Jadi kita loncat bisa. Cara apa namanya? Pas kita nge-charge skill itu, kita mau cancel bisa juga pakai dash kan? Jadi kayak nge-save gitu, pencet save. Terus kita mau cancel. Mana Discord lo? Coba lihat Discord, gue pengen coba. WA tutup dulu ya. Halo, ada suara tak? Halo? 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 Halo. Halo, Bud.
Bentar.
Halo. Halo. Tes. Halo. Testing 1 2 3. Oi. Oi. Halo. Good. Halo. Halo. Tes. Halo. 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 Tes 1 2 3. Tes. Tes. Pakai suara. Halo, halo. Testing 1 2 3. Tes. Ada suara. Tes 1 2 3. Tes 1 2. Tes. 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 Testing. Testing. Halo. 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 Halo, halo. 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 Tes. Good. Good. Tes. Oi. Halo. Oi. Coba angkat, coba angkat. Udah ada suaranya. Coba lu angkat Discord, udah ada suara. Halo. Ada suara gak?
Nah, sekarang baru ada.
Tadi gua matiin ini. Makanya tak
Kalau
ada.
laptop matiin juga lah suaranya.
Itu caranya gimana?
banting aja laptopnya.
Ganti laptop.
Ya, ganti laptop baru.
Emang suara laptop masih kedengaran kan?
Iya, ler.
Yang apa?
Laptop gua juga ada suara lo. Ngerti nggak?
Itu gimana sih caranya? Gue mau nggak tahu.
Gua nggak ada buka Discord sih di laptop gua. Lalu nggak tahu lah, lu cari tahu lah.
Gue pakai Discord aja sih.
Ya terserah sama aja.
Bentar. Mana sih Ken mukanya sini biar ku lihat, biar ku bully dia kalau dia masuk.
No.
Oh, siap-siap lah ya.
Kayak
Enggak lah.
kayak kontol kan.
Iya, dia masuk pun aku udah nggak di sana.
Ya, kayak bukan Felix tuh. Bukan Banji.
Cocok lah sama Felix satu. Oh, lu pakai HP ya, nggak pakai.
Enggak. Laptop gua punya mic jelek, nggak ada.
Ini baru beli, lagi coba.
Apa itu?
Mos.
Oh. Berapa lu?
2.000.
2.000 peso. Iya. Jual aja lah, buang aja lah.
Suara game
Nah,
aku
gitu.
kedengaran ya di tempat ini.
Iya lah.
Kayak gitu ya.
Om Naraka matiin dulu suaramu coba.
Cara matiinnya gimana?
Matiin laptopnya. Gak tahu juga ler.
Gue nggak paham sih.
Gue gak pernah pakai, malah gue tahu.
Gak bingung sih. Berarti itu settingan laptopmu, bukan settingan laptop aku.
Gue gak ada buka Discord. Nah, gitu pak. Namanya di mana?
Jadi suara si ini aku kedengaran.
Sekarang udah enggak.
Suara si Yotohime nggak kedengaran.
Udah enggak.
Oh ya, berarti bener lah settingan tadi. Gua matiin.
Matiin laptop mau main.
Iya, iya. Berapa FPS sih? Gua penasaran. Anjir. Dapat lah 140.
It's good stuff.
Ini aku pakai dagger aja nih.
Note the item I have marked. Material riches. How fortunate.
Oh,
Good stuff.
Apa sih itu?
Albert kasih gua.
Will of
Ada Albert gak?
Ada? Ini.
Note the item I have marked.
Udah dapat ya? Gimana pakainya?
Oke, baru nggak sih?
My blade is ready to unsheath.
Could you help?
Note the item I have marked.
The shadow will shortly begin to spread.
May the pain remind you of what else I can do.
Wanjir, keren banget.
You will attack our enemies. The moment when my vengeance is not yet nigh. I shall purify the souls of their filth. This is mine. You're
Even the sun must set.
beginning to grow vexed.
Even the sun must set.
Mati lo, Bet. Ini mati. Langsung aja. Nah,
I shall purify the souls of their filth.
lagi. Nice.
You have our gratitude. Now it may perform its function again. I am restored. One day, perhaps, I will be mortal.
Berarti gak kayak kantor kita ya. Oh tidur, dikurangin bikin waktu semua 5 tahun. Tapi situ enggak anjir. Itu bisa kita dulu. Terus kayak sketron 5.000 ya. Kayak dengan bos tele kamu cek luar. Betul. Itu baru dulu.
Ada orang. Kan?
Lebih kan tidak ada bos. Kalau kayak gini barat jajan begini. Aku pernah kerja satu marketing. Ada sih orang tinggi, ya, ada masing-masing yang punya. Sebenarnya ada target besar. Yang itu tengah banyak keluarga. Ada situasi minimal berbuat itu minimal itu orang ada. Oh enggak, kalau darah itu pasti jangan mau sama mereka. Ya pasti dimarahin ya.
There is danger
Enemy
nearby.
at close quarters.
Do not let them get away.
If I threw this, it might do some minor damage. Aiming for your brain was my worthiest challenge yet.
Thank you.
My weapon is restored.
Atas, Cok.
Our enemies amass in the distance.
Tolong berat kemarin ya. Baru hari itu langsung.
If I threw this, it might do some minor damage.
Saya tidak kapal. Oh, bentar ya.
Bangkit. Susah kali kan?
If I threw this, it might do some minor damage. Take care.
Ada orang.
Now, lovely weapon, instead of rust, you shall bathe in blood.
The shadow will shortly begin to spread.
Saya jangan udah kamu lewat main. Mantap.
Converge on my marker at once.
The shadow begins.
The moment for my vengeance is not yet nigh.
I don't pull punches.
Oh, dia hancurin pedang.
Why do they challenge me? It never ends well for
Enggak
them.
tahu.
Pedang gua hancur, Cok.
Oh bisa ya?
Iya, pedang gua hancur. Gua pakai great sword tadi.
Cukup dia.
Dihancurin, Cok. Bangke lah.
Now, lovely weapon, instead of rust, you shall bathe in blood.
Sudah.
Ternyata gua aja masih putih wah.
Rame.
Converge on my marker at once.
Hai, buat. Tolong, buat.
souls of their filth. Not yet.
Marilah!
Lovely, as if freshly hammered and wrought.
Gua udah kabur ya.
I am restored. One day, perhaps, I will be mortal. If I threw this, it might do some minor damage.
It's good stuff.
Material riches. How fortunate. Now, lovely weapon, instead of rust, you shall bathe in blood. My blade is ready to unsheath.
Sini bot. Lu kemana?
The shadow will soon spread.
Boleh bang, ayo join. Sabar ya. Yo bang, join. Silakan join.
The shadow spreads.
Good you're out.
Converge on my marker at once.
Rame konyol.
The moment for my vengeance is not yet nigh. You will attack our enemies.
Marilah yang rame.
I am restored. One day, perhaps, I will be mortal. I shall purify the souls of their filth. Die, filth. I am restored. One day, perhaps, I will be mortal. Behold the wages of defiance.
Menang.
Hah?
Iya, menang kita.
Anjir, cepat banget. Nggak tahu tuh.
Mereka di dalam itu, gua bantai di sana. Bentar, ada yang mau join main, Cok. Mereka di apa? Kita bilangnya zona ya. Kabar ya. Lu jam berapa tidur? Baru jam.
Udah
Ada yang mau join itu.
ada si kontol mungkin lama.
Siapa? Oh, temen lu si Ken.
Kentot deh.
Gak usah main rank lah, gak apa-apa. Main seru-seru aja. Jadinya WC dulu.
Christina, can you afford my services? If you hear an explosion, I've done my job.
Naraka, I was winning a few more rolls.
Lu besok jam berapa masuk kerja?
Jam 12. Kenapa?
Gua dapet eksepsi yang terus sih, gak bisa ganti. Gak bisa. Iya, yang ku bilang skinnya tuh murah.
We will rid the world of this.
我只会走自己选择的路。
Dia kan diskon 90%. Kemarin gua masih ada dari beli laptop ini sisa 120 habisin.
We will rid the world of this filth.
Ah, bentar, tunggu bentar.
Let us bring darkness to. Let us bring dark.
Main kasual aja. Kasual. Gas. Ready. Tapi sekarang itu gratis ya. Gua dulu beli berapa? 100.000. Enggak ada temen main. Ranked gua bisa dapet yang itu, dapet Palembang lah. Ranking nomor 1 Palembang akak kali.
Yes, they're real. Every. You may have my power, whatever that is worth.
My car, the silver crow.
Okay, just straight up me, that's all.
Iya, bentar lagi yang solo aku platinum. Jadilah.
Note the item I have marked.
They're nearby.
Why are these attacking our enemies?
Been nice.
Filth.
No hard feelings, friend.
My blade is ready to unsheath. My injuries afflict me no longer. Not yet. I am dry of all but hate. Note the item I have marked.
The shadow will shortly begin to spread.
Note the item I have marked.
The shadow thickens.
Dia paling habis bertanding. Baru ke
Ini mau
Note
12.
the item I have marked.
mobil tadi main. Tadi kubu. Dan dia banyak.
Doctor died.
Ada orang buat.
Converge on my marker at once.
Lu di mana?
You will attack our enemies. Converge on my marker at once. The moment for my vengeance is not yet nigh. I shall purify the souls of their filth. Not yet.
Mati kalian. Mana?
Dari kecil.
Telat gua. Sorry. Sorry. Lu nggak ngomong anjir, diam aja.
Lovely, as if freshly hammered and wrought. I am restored. One day, perhaps, I will be mortal.
Mamu siapa sih itu bego banget mainnya kayak tai gitu.
Ya, dia baru belajar, cuk.
Siapa itu?
Oh, gua lagi streaming. Dia bilang mau ikut. Baru belajar.
Udah itu off lagi dia.
Maksudnya off gimana?
Itu dia udah cabut itu. Mana main lagi?
Yalah, mati duluan. Gua nggak lihat tadi.
kepala kau.
Nggak bisa dulu, nanti ketarik.
Balikin kepala kau.
Lu ada kunci.
My blade is ready to unsheath.
Ada kunci. Tadi yang bunuh lu tuh yang gua bunuh atau gimana? Apa?
Beda. Nggak tahu.
Sterling equipment devoid of curses or demons. A pleasant fluke.
Belum. Enak kali ini, aish. Apa bisa disetting ya?
The shadow will shortly begin to spread.
Gimana? Lupa dulu combo.
The shadow thickens.
Kayaknya ada skill baru gitu.
My weapon is restored.
Musuh. Bangke grapplenya habis.
They're nearby.
Dorong.
Of course.
Barrel through.
Converge on my marker at once.
Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
I shall purify the souls souls of their filth.
Goblok. Salah pencet skill.
They're nearby.
Our enemies amass in the distance.
Why are you attacking me?
Take care. That
Ramenya.
would do for a spool. You have our gratitude. My blade is ready to unsheath. Like fighting a child. I am out of spool. Purify the soul of their filth.
3 orang anjir.
I am out of spools.
The shadow will soon spread.
The moment
Oke,
for my
terima kasih.
vengeance is not yet nigh.
Sorry ya, gue kabur dulu ya.
Now it may perform its function again.
Lu AFK udah ya.
The shadow
I am
spreads.
out of spools.
Time to come to me and be healed.
Now, lovely weapon, instead of rust, you shall bathe in blood. Not yet. My injuries afflict me no longer. Now it may perform its function again. My blade is ready to unsheath.
Then my team is ready.
Susah ya. Mereka full team.
Udah lah,
Mau tidur.
habis pulang dari luar juga kan, capek.
Mau WR ya. AFK kan dia? Ini udah AFK atau belum?
Udah disconnect deh itu.
Udah tutup ya.
We are united. We will rid the warp.
Lu masih mau main atau gimana?
Udah.
Mau main WR ah?
Capek kamu.
Albert mau main WR. Tapi ada temennya nih kan?
Udah balik.
Oh cepetan. WR udah selesai belum?
Belum masih mau main.
Ya udah, kalau mau ayo WR. Oh iya, lu nanti mau beli si itu kan, Grand Blue kan? Lu kan, lu kan suka MMO gitu,
Udah keluar.
apa?
Udah keluar.
Tanggal 1 pas aku pulang. Jadi lu farming dulu, nanti kalau gua udah pulang sini, lu bantu gua.
Mama lo.
Gua udah pasti beli sih.
We are united in our purpose.
Oh, bagus katanya si Grand Blue. MMO dia. Ntar gua liat ini. Login lah WR kalau mau. Biasa kalian jam berapa?
Absent. Sakit pa ulit ang ngipin mo.
Use Colgate Maximum Cavity.
Cautiously anticipating for quite a while now, because I just didn't know exactly what the game was going to be like when it came out. But now that I've had the Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is the upcoming action RPG that's developed by Cry Games, set in the expansive and richly detailed world of the Grand Blue Fantasy universe. Relink features a blend of exploration, narrative-driven quests, Monster Hunter-like quest structure, and a really dynamic combat system. You can expect a rich, character-driven story typical of the series, with the main narrative focusing on a group of Skyfarers that are traveling through various Sky Islands. The game features an action RPG combat system with incredibly deep character customization, with around 16 playable characters and up to 4-player multiplayer. A really interesting aspect of Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is its approach to being a full-priced, non-live service game. In an era in which many games adopt a live service model with ongoing content updates and microtransactions, Relink stands out as an offering as a complete standalone experience. This is going to resonate with many players, like myself, that want a more traditional model and have raised expectations about the quality and depth of a game at its initial launch. Let's not kid ourselves. An action anime RPG that's a full-priced feature-complete title is relatively a myth nowadays, but it's great to see a game that's following the trends of some of the greatest titles of 2023. You look at games like Alan Wake 2, Armored Core 6, Baldur's Gate 3. These are all games that came out full-price titles, feature-complete, and really didn't ask us for anything else after they were released. So this is just something that's great to see, and I know it's going to make a lot of people happy, including myself. Now, with that said, when I first saw Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, I thought it looked a lot like Genshin Impact, just because you could see that each character is tied to an element. Looked like there were basic attacks that you would then, pepper in some special attacks and then maybe have an ultimate. But that's where the similarities end. These games couldn't be any different. Grand Blue Fantasy is a game that actually has full party mechanics, even the holy trinity of sorts, with a healer, DPS, and tank. The deceptiveness of the combat of this game is something that caught me a little bit off guard, because there's actually multiple layers of complexity to it that is probably going to take a little bit of time to master and really figure out. And I'm really excited to see how this all turns out in the end. But the one thing that I have to say, if you're going to stop watching the video at this very moment, is that this game just feels good to play. That's it. It just feels good. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, because you've probably played games like that in the past. For me, it's Armored Core 6. Armored Core 6 just felt natural. All the controls were exactly where they needed to be. Everything felt snappy. Everything felt instant. And it just felt good. Relink just feels good. In Relink, you'll engage in fast-paced action combat. The system is designed around the combination of both light and heavy attacks, which can be strung together to create combos. Take special note that each character plays vastly different than the next. The game is rather deceptive in that there are special timings for basic and heavy attacks that can be used to create stronger combos and may end up having some type of impact on your character's specific perks, like for instance filling up a special gauge that's unique to that character. Each character in your party has a unique set of skills and abilities, allowing for a very diverse range of combat styles. For instance, some characters are going to excel at close quarters combat using weapons like greatswords, martial arts, or katanas, while other characters are going to specialize in long-range combat using either magic or firearms. This variety ensures that we're going to have the ability to mix and match with party members, find exactly the kind of characters that suit our needs, and try to make a dynamic team that coalesces and combines into an incredibly effective unit. Another critical aspect of the combat system is special abilities known as arts. These are powerful moves that are designed to be able to deal significant damage, utilize a character-specific mechanic, heal, apply debuffs or buffs, but require strategic use because they are governed by a cooldown system. Timing and combination of these arts with regular attacks and dodges are going to be key to mastering the game's combat. With successive attacks, you'll end up filling an enemy's stun gauge, which will trigger link attacks, where you and other characters will deal damage together, dealing a significant amount of damage. Once you have actually linked enough of these successful strikes, you'll enter into a time slow mechanic where characters are basically defenseless. As fights progress, you're also going to be filling up a gauge that's just located under your health. This is going to trigger your ultimate attack, what's called a skybound art, that deals devastating amounts of damage. While it may be tempting for you to just want to blow that ultimate once you get it, I wouldn't. If characters use their skybound arts in succession, you'll end up triggering a link state, and depending on how many ultimates you release at once, you'll end up triggering what is called a full burst. Depending on that number, you're going to do even more damage and cause even more effects on the enemy. The combat in this game is so satisfying, and I don't think that can be overstated because it's just that good. The game performs incredibly. If I had to use one word to describe the game, it would be crisp, because no matter all the different animations that are going off on screen, I experienced no dips in frames or anything like that, no slowdowns, no hiccups, no nothing. The game just played well, and as a result, it feels great. Now, if I had to say there was something that really impressed me about the game's combat, it's just how diverse and distinct each character is from the next, because they really are that unique. No character plays the same. Even if they're using similar weapons, they have completely different fighting styles, and it feels good as a result. I played with a spear character that's flipping around, jumping all over the place, slamming down into enemies, being able to do like fire damage from afar, buff enemies with attack boosts and things like that. It felt fun. It was fast-paced and cool. I switched over to this melee character, this martial artist, slow and methodical. You have to think about every attack, where you're going to put it, how long you're going to stand in place before you need to dodge out or make movement, especially if you're about to use his heavy attack, because it takes time to charge and you have to stand in place to do so. It's a very purposeful character. You have to commit to everything that you do. And each character has something similar to that, where they're very unique in how they play and how you're going to have to tactically use them in fights. And they all have their own tactical uses as well, as they provide all kinds of different abilities to the party that the other party members don't have. Maybe it's things like a defense break or a power boost or an attack down or something like that. And it just feels awesome. That's all I can keep saying, is that it just feels good. It's exactly what I want from a game like this, and it's something that I know a lot of other people do too. Relink boasts an impressive roster of 20 characters at launch, with the promise of more characters post-launch, each going to bring their own unique style and abilities to the game. The number of characters that are going to be available to us at launch is relatively substantial, which is going to allow us to have a really diverse and customizable experience. This variety, by the way, is not just for show. It plays a crucial role in how we're going to approach the game and strategize for combat. Now, in regards to gear, Relink offers a wide range of equipment options for us to be able to outfit our character. The gear mostly revolves around the use of weapons and sigils, each contributing to a character's stats and abilities in different ways. The gear system allows us to be able to fine-tune our character's strengths and weaknesses, as well as give them specific combat roles, adding an extra layer of strategy to party management. Now, it should be noted that this is all that I saw that was available in the demo. However, there could be more options later once the game is released. Sigils seem to play the most crucial role in defining how we're going to build our characters. Some give boost to core stats like strength, health, defense, and critical chance. However, there are others that provide much more specific increases to things like stun or lowering your health to increase your attack. Now, while this may seem relatively basic or limited to some, add this to our ability to change our character's skills, and your build options are going to open up quite a bit. One of the game's most engaging features is the ability to change and modify skills. This customization enables us to tailor our characters to specific roles within the game, such as tank, DPS, healer, or support. While the demo did have a limited variety in choice, I'm assuming that the full game is going to have a much wider variety. Just as an example, we could take a character like Naraka, who has a lot of multi-hit attacks, give her sigils that are going to boost her stun build-up, load up abilities that support this, and then use her to build up link strikes. Now, as mentioned previously, different characters in Relink have incredibly distinct playstyles, catering to various player preferences. For instance, you could play as Io, the mage, who is really adept at lowering defense and attack and causing various status ailments from afar. You also have Siegfried, wielding a greatsword, dealing slow, heavy, hard-hitting attacks with a toolset that's best for tanking or countering. Or you could play as the main character, Gran, who is a bit of a jack-of-all-trades with high damage attacks and quick combos, access to defensive buffs, debuffs, and also AoE healing. Now, accompanying all these different character options, gear, and skills, each character has their own unique combat mechanic. For example, Gondagoza, the martial artist, can fill up a gauge as long as you're timing his attacks perfectly. As this gauge fills up, you're able to spend that on unleashing a powerful heavy attack. Naryama, the katana wielder, summons butterflies around her as long as you're completing successful combos, which then can be spent on using her arts to increase their damage depending on how many butterflies you have. There is a ton of diversity to have here, because with 20 characters, you're going to have a ton of different options on how you want to build your party, what characters you want to have in there, what abilities you want to give to those characters, what kind of sigils you're going to give those characters, how you're going to approach combat. Are you going glass cannon where everybody's going to just be high damage? Are you going to have a tank? Are you going to have somebody doing status ailments from the side? I know that when I was playing the demo, I had Io basically just being my status mage, lowering defense, lowering attack, boosting the party, and it worked incredibly. She basically got the top rating every single fight. Now, I realize I'm going to repeat myself when I'm saying this, but these characters really are just that distinct that it almost feels like you're playing a completely different game when you switch to a different character. First, I played Gran, then after Gran, I played Gondagoza, and then Naryama, and I about gave myself whiplash because you really have to take the time to figure out how each one of those characters work. Most games that are like this, at least the basic attack structure is going to be the same, but it's not even close to the same between any of these characters. And that's something that I really appreciate, because it really gives this awesome and fresh experience every time you pick somebody else. And I also am really happy to learn that unlocking these characters isn't something that you have to do just by doing the story alone. Well, I'm sure that's probably going to be the way that we unlock most of them. We actually get the choice of who we want to unlock when we want to unlock them. We get summoning materials through completing the different story quests, and then we just pick the characters that we want, and those are the characters that we get. I love that, because there's characters that I'm going to be much more interested in than what a game would normally just feed out to me or normally just dish out to me. This is something much different than many other games do, and I love it. Player agency. I love player agency. Now let's go ahead and talk about questing. The game's main quests are essential to the storyline, unfolding the narrative as we complete them. These quests involve a series of objectives, such as interacting with NPCs and defeating enemies, all culminating in battles against progressively stronger bosses. Completing main quests not only progress the story, but also unlock new in-game features like locations and materials that were used to summon companions, while also providing us with XP, equipment, and other useful items. Additionally, in Relink, the game is going to feature over 100 quests, including endgame content, which can be tackled either solo or with up to 3 players. Some mission structures are arena-based, similar to Monster Hunter games, where you're just going in to fight a boss and that's just the only objective. While we don't really know exactly what the endgame content or progression is going to look like, if the demo is any indication, we may be looking forward to progressively harder boss fights that are going to require even more coordination and cooperation through multiplayer. Now, I've seen a few criticisms levied at the game for having a hub-based mission structure, but as somebody that's been playing a lot of Monster Hunter lately, I am here for it. I forgot just how refreshing of an experience it can be playing a game that's palatable. Something that I could sit back, play it for hours, or something that I could play a mission and then just hop off and go do something else. So, criticisms aside, I'm here for it. Now, one of the other things that I want to make note of as well is that the game is relatively linear. So when you're going to do some of the main quest scenarios, you're going to notice that this isn't a big open world game or anything like that. So if that was what your expectations were, temper them. But what I will say is I was really surprised with how many little nooks and crannies and different things you could explore and discover while you were playing the game in some of these more linear areas. There's all kinds of different treasure and objects to be able to interact with that would start little mini games and things like that. It made it really fun and enjoyable. And I think when I was going around the world, I was seeing other objects that looked like we were going to be able to interact with that just weren't in the demo right now. So I'm excited to see what else they have. Now on to my only real criticism, which is the inability to be able to switch characters mid-combat, and I see this as a significant limitation, particularly when we're comparing it to other games in the genre that do offer this feature. This restriction impacts not only your strategic depth, but it confines you to a role and specific abilities of only one single character for the entire fight. In contrast, games like the Tales of series, Genshin Impact, and many others give us the benefit of being able to switch characters in combat. Being able to switch characters allows us to be able to adapt dynamically to different scenarios, utilize different skill sets, and strategically manage our health, debuffs, buffs, and all the different abilities of our entire party. I'm wondering exactly how this is going to play out in later levels in the game when enemies become a little bit more challenging and bosses become a little bit more complex. Not having the ability to time debuffs, coordinate healing, and manage my different cooldowns is something that could potentially end up being an issue.